Last January, a policeman in Canada may have unwittingly sparked a unique form of protest in several countries. In a class about personal safety, the officer mentioned that women should not dress, in his words, like sluts. In response, a group of women in Toronto organized a so-called Slut Walk, saying that the victims of sexual assault are never to blame, no matter how they dress. The idea caught on in Australia and Brazil, and now women in South Korea are using a slut walk to protest sexual assault in their own country. Here's Lee Yoo Eun from Global Voices Online, South Korea.
It first started as a one-person protest against 3 male students who are awaiting trial on charges of sexually assaulting a fellow female student during a school trip. Initially, the public was interested in the fact that the victim was allegedly drunk rather than the assault itself. Some even blamed her for whining after inviting a crime. These reactions enraged women and prompted several protests at the Korea University's front gate and later a large-scale slut walk. Women in various revealing outfits took a walk in busy streets of Seoul at mid-month. This was the very first slut walk in South Korean capital. Many Koreans did not take it well, including young and progressive Koreans. Conservative media outlets chose to ignore the protest, and only several progressive media outlets covered it, even those mostly treated the walk as a chance for their photographers. One blogger commented that the media are using the protest to attract more readers and viewers. What made me embarrassed, this post said, was not the protest but those news titles such as "Real Provocative Protest, Slut Walk has arrived Korea." There's no clue regarding the content. Frankly speaking, I click on the news just because I was drawn by those titles. Among few media outlets who made an extensive coverage on the Slut Walk was the Wikitree, South Korea's newest blogger and citizen news outlets. These are the tweet photos Wikitree consolidated from Post. But it seems a majority of Korean public responded negatively to the slut walk, and even among groups and people who consider themselves progressive launched verbal and cyber attacks on these women. And of course, there are numerous verbal attacks online, this one sent via Twitter. If you plan a slut walk, first gather up sexual criminals and do it in front of them. And others from their blogs. To me, the slut walk seems like chanting in front of sexual criminals and potential criminals. Even though our clothing may arouse you, don't touch. It's like go and ask Hitler, don't slaughter Jewish people, and ask Gaddafi, stop mass killing Libyan citizens. He then closed with sarcasm, that's gonna work. Several bloggers have pointed out that the Korean slut walk was different from those of Europe and Canada. They wore sunglasses and asked photographers to blur their faces. For women who claim women's rights in wearing revealing clothes, this seems oddly cowardly. I'm Yoo Eun Lee in Seoul for LinkAsia.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.